Tip number 1. Stop searching for fancy new stretches because getting flexible is not about the type of the exercise you're doing. The exercises that stretch your target muscles are simple and common. The question is, what are you going to do with them? Think about searching for a good shoulder exercise and finding lateral raises. What are you going to do with them? Even though you know the right exercise, you still have to find the right weight, reps, sets, rest intervals, and training sessions per week to get the results that you want. It's the same with flexibility. Knowing the optimal exercises for a specific muscle group is only a small part of your flexibility session. The others are the method that you'll apply to this exercise with more than 11 to choose from, the number of sets and reps, the duration of stretching, rest intervals and contractions in contraction-based methods, the stretching and contraction intensity, and of course the number of sessions per week to attain optimal results. These are the most important factors that separate a training program that gets you in the splits within 3 months from the ones that take 3 years or never actually get you to your goal. So to give you an example, a good stretching exercise for the hamstrings is the standing hamstring stretch. This is mainly a single leg hip flexion that creates this angle and stretches your hamstrings. For your hamstrings, it doesn't make much difference if you create the same angle standing, seated, supine, or in a split. It's the same angle. The thing that actually makes a difference is to choose the right method and training variables for you. It's completely different to do 3 sets of static stretching in this exercise than do 3 sets of other methods that we saw in my previous video, like the contract relax or the contract passive range. But even when doing the same method on the same exercise, alternating the remaining training variables makes all the difference. So for example, even by doing only the contract relax method on this exercise, which consists of 6 seconds contractions and 6 seconds relaxation in each repetition, changing the number of reps in each set, the number of sets per session, the stretching and contraction intensity, the rest intervals between sets, and the number of sessions that you'll do in a week makes all the difference with these 3 training plans. If you want me to elaborate more on the training variables in a future video, let me know in the comments. You can also subscribe to my channel so you never miss out content like this in the future, or not subscribe and try to Google my name, but it's a hard name to remember. For now, keep in mind that when training for flexibility, your main focus should be to customize the training variables to your needs and not search for new stretching exercises. Number 2, stop training with follow-along videos. To get fast results in your flexibility, you need to keep track of what you do and gradually progress to more. So if, for example, you're doing 30 seconds of a stretch for 3 sets, it's reasonable to gradually progress to 60 seconds for 4 sets. Over 8 weeks, your program might change so much that it will look nothing like the program you started with. However, a follow-along routine stays the same forever. This way, you end up doing the same flexibility workout with the same training variables. And just take a moment and think about how it would be to train with follow-along routines in strength training. Lifting the same weight for the same number of reps and sets on the same exercise. This wouldn't make sense, right? So in general, compared to a legit training program, follow-along videos will give you the fewer results. To sum up, follow-along videos are convenient and it's a mistake I've done myself. However, for fast flexibility gains, you should follow programs with progressive overload. Tip number 3, don't fall into the trap of loaded stretching. Loaded stretching looks fancy, and for this reason you find numerous videos of fitness influencers supporting its use. Nevertheless, in reality, it's the worst way to get flexible. This doesn't mean that you cannot get flexible with loaded stretching, but only that it is the slowest way to get there. But why is that? Well, that's because loaded stretching skyrockets muscle soreness, and muscle soreness is the biggest enemy of flexibility gains. This happens mainly because for loaded stretching to work, you need enough weight that will push you past your normal range. And of course, this cannot happen with 1 or 2 kilos. As I said, you need enough weight for this method to actually work, and this weight along with the increased stretching intensity will make you sore every time. By increasing muscle soreness, you reduce your range of motion for the days following training, and you cannot even access the positions that you normally train for flexibility. This prevents you from training frequently, which is one of the most important training variables to get results. So if you do loaded stretching on Monday, your soreness won't let you have an effective training session for 5 whole days or more. That's because, in contrast to strength training, where you can train even if you're not fully recovered, To do an effective flexibility session, you must have zero soreness. And to get a good idea of what you might be missing, in contrast to loaded stretching, with the rest flexibility methods, you could train on Monday and then at least 2 more times during the week depending on your level. This way, over 8 weeks, you'll end up doing only 12 sessions with loaded stretching and around 24 with any of the other methods. There are many more reasons why loaded stretching isn't that effective specifically for increasing flexibility, and I may cover them in a future video dedicated to this topic. For now, keep in mind that you need to avoid soreness when training for flexibility. And if you want to learn how to get flexible with one of the most effective methods that exist today, you can see this next video. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you all next time.